Good to go.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I was raised in a weird family. The type of weird family that, even though I wasn't raised on a farm, our house was often called the Mortensen farm. And not because we were crazy, although we were, but because when I was around 6 years old, my dad bought each of my siblings a rabbit. I have 5 siblings. You think five rabbits is a lot of rabbits. That's until we had 86 rabbits. And then 5 rabbits doesn't seem like that many rabbits anymore. Everything that was done in my home was done in excess. When my family loves something, they love it a lot. When they play a prank, they go all the way. There was a prank we used to play where we would break into the bathroom when our siblings were showering and throw a glass of water over the shower to get them wet with ice water. This escalated over the years until my brother had the brilliant idea to get my dad back for all the times that he had wronged us in our lives. So he had a plan. He got a 5-gallon bucket, not of ice water because that's too tame. That's too tame for my family. Instead, he put liquid smoke, a couple gallons of milk, some oil, and about 10 minutes before church on Sunday, he thinks, this is my moment. That bucket had been sitting in the garage for weeks at this point. Just a foul concoction. And he runs in. I'm finally going to get Dad back. And right as he goes to pour it over the edge of the shower, my dad shoots his hand up and it comes back on my brother in his perfect suit, all ready for church. I remember my mom was a little more than mad that day. But something that I learned was to have fun, to love what you do. And I learned this from a young age. But it hasn't always been easy. When I was 18, my parents took me on a trip to Bali. We met a lot of amazing people there. There was an especially amazing person, in my personal opinion, named Eli. Eli was a 19-year-old boy from New York and very mysterious. Although we were all there for a service organization and we had to stay as a group, Eli would mysteriously disappear from time to time and with no explanation, come back several hours later. My dad decided to start calling him CIA. He was convinced he was a spy. But my dad thought that Eli was so cool. And I thought Eli was pretty cool too. So as you can imagine, I followed him around and tried to hang out with him as much as I could. And on one of the last days, we had the opportunity to go to the beach as a group. I was ecstatic because the day before we had got to go to some shops and I found a custom-made dragon kite. And this is not just something that you find in the US. Okay, I've never seen a dragon kite like this. It was completely 3D and probably bigger than I was at the time. And I remember going to Eli and being like, I'm so excited to go to the beach and I'm gonna fly this dragon kite. And he looked at me and he said, are you a kid? Like, who gets excited over flying a kite? And for the first time in my life, I was pretty embarrassed. I didn't think it was so cool to be weird. And then I realized kids are some of the coolest, most fun, and happiest people in the world. And Eli was not that cool. Kids see the world as an adventure instead of something embarrassing. They just do what they love. So from that moment, I've committed to doing what I love, even if it's cringy or embarrassing, which is something that's especially prevalent in this internet age. Instead, I choose to be like my brother, who, when I came home this last winter break, he had bought go-karts for from Costco and had redesigned them to look like Mario Kart. And he was driving around the kids, and I took a picture at 8:06 of my brother on this go-kart. I was like, my brother's so cool. I turn around, I get something for my kid. I take another picture at 8:09. And you would not believe it, but he was in a full Mario outfit. I don't even know where he got it. Like it materialized out of thin air, and how he could get dressed in 2 minutes is beyond me. And it turns out he keeps it in the back of his car. But sometimes it's okay to be awkward. It's okay to be silly and just embrace that part of you. And that's why I think embarrassing moments are some of the coolest. Thank you.